So here we have a polynomial, and we want to factor it. So we're thinking, well, maybe it's the difference of squares, but 2 is not a square, 32 is not a square. However, we can look for the greatest common factor. So we want to do that first, and it's really easy to overlook that sometimes, but try to remember to look for that first. So they both can be divided by 2, and they both have a y squared. So the GCF is 2y squared. So you factor that out, 2y squared, and then you write what's left. So we have x to the 4th on the first term minus, and then it looks like 16. So now we have inside the parentheses, we have to try to factor that. And that is the difference of squares. Think of x squared squared, if that helps, and 4 squared for the 16. So it's going to factor like this, 2y squared, that's the GCF, and then it's going to factor into x squared plus 4 and x squared minus 4. And so you might be saying, okay, well, where'd you get that? So here's the a, and then the b was the 4. So it factored into a plus b and a minus b. So that's how we got the x squared plus 4 and the x squared minus 4. But now, see, you might be tempted to quit. And this part's fine, this part's fine, but this part, that's the difference of squares again. So we can factor it even more. So the x squared minus 4, think of it as x squared, so here's your a, and then 2 squared, so here's your b. So it's going to factor, we'll keep the 2y squared, we'll keep the x squared plus 4. I'll come back to that in a second. And then we're going to factor that x squared minus 4 into x plus 2 and x minus 2. So that one we did 3 factorings. We took out the greatest common factor, we factored the difference of squares, and then there was another binomial that was the difference of squares, so we could factor it more. Now, this is the answer. But I said I'd come back to this. Why can't we factor the x squared plus 4? And this is a common mistake a lot of times that's made. You can't factor it because it's not subtraction. It's not subtraction. So it's not the difference of 2 squares. It's the sum of 2 squares, but that doesn't factor. So you're stuck with the x squared plus 4. Okay?